as a copywriter and then a consultant in public relations. I was chairman of the Bow Group specifically, that's the think tank 100 MPs, Dan Hannan was a member, Bill Cash, and I turned it round from, it was on its knees financially, sounds familiar this, doesn't it? And it had a lot of potential, and we turned it round, and the Bow Group actually is doing pretty well at the moment, and you know, that was some time ago. I was also chairman of the Steam Railway. There's many around here, I know. I had to raise 250,000. It was pretty hard going. You had to keep the vision, the belief in it actually happening. It's now doing very well. I had my 50th birthday party on the steam line just the other day. And it's, you know, so it's a real mix. And obviously, I've been chairman. I've been honoured to have chairman with you and deputy leader. And I feel I know the party very well, you know, and I like this party and I want to serve it. Thank you.
An interesting question there from Jay Lilly, branch SW, I just assume that means Southwest. What do the candidates understand by the term common purpose?
We all have a common purpose in this room, and that is to disassociate ourselves with the EU. That is our common purpose, and that one, as I said, really hurts. But let's not just concentrate on the EU. Yes, it's vital, yes, it's important, but you know, charity begins at home. It begins right here. The destruction to our services and charities that have come about because of the present coalition are hard to bear. But if we can galvanise ourselves and all aim for this Westminster, this essential change that we need in Westminster, we'll be successful, we'll be powerful and respected.
Whether common purpose, the Bilderberg Group, the Illuminati or giant lizards are responsible for all our woes, I am not sure. There is no doubt the common purpose exists, there is no doubt it could be put to sinister uses. But that is not something for UKIP to be talking about. That is something to discuss in discussion groups and on message boards on the internet. If we as a party allow ourselves to be seen publicly talking and being seen as conspiracy theorists, you can bet your bottom dollar that the collective eyes of the British public will glaze over. They don't want us to talk about those things. They want us to talk about what affects them, their lives, money, jobs, their future, their pride in their country. UKIP has got to keep it simple. If we do that, we'll succeed.
Is Brian in the audience somewhere? I've heard of this before. Yeah, I agree with Nigel. I think we shouldn't be distracted. It's very dangerous to, I mean, you know, there could be something to this, and there is a Marxist element to it, I understand. However, having said that, you know, there are dangers for UKIP. They think they're fruitcakes and loonies anyway, to be associated too closely with some of these causes, which might be valid, but we have to be careful in media terms how we handle it. You know, so we're willing to be convinced on the evidence, but we've got to be pretty careful how we handle this. And we, as Nigel says, what people really want to hear about is health, crime, immigration, tax, the economy. Let's focus on winning votes at the local level and all the way up to Westminster.
Can I just say, since there's been one or two little questions about I believe in common purpose inside the United Kingdom Independence Party. I believe in common purpose between all parts of the party, and if and when I become leader, I want to work closely with the MEPs. That's absolutely clear. It's very important for us to use all the resources in the party. I want to build up the resources in this country, but I also want to work for common purpose with the MEPs in Brussels and Strasbourg. Thank you.
Turning to another difficult issue this time, a question from David Johnson in Torridge and West Devon, and some fairly strong language after what he describes as the fiasco in Somerset during the last election, can we now put to rest, once and for all, the question of UKIP candidates not standing against so-called Eurosceptic Conservatives?
What happened in Somerset was totally wrong. I mean, I love Malcolm Pearson, he's a wonderful man, he's an honest man, but he got this wrong. And I begged him that morning, I begged him not to do it, but he carried on. So it was a terrible mistake. But I think the debate we should be having in UKIP is not whether we stand against Philip Davis in Shipley or not. The debate we should be having in UKIP is why are we not fielding full lists of candidates in areas like London and parts of Scotland and Wales. So the real problem isn't to discuss whether we fight Philip Davis, it's why haven't we got enough candidates? Why are we not fielding enough candidates in the English local elections next year? So let's not get distracted because there are 5 people in the House of Commons who think we should leave the European Union. Thank goodness there are those voices there. What we've got to start doing is making this party bigger. We're only just at critical mass. We need to be aiming to fight every single seat at the next general election. If we're not doing that, then this discussion of when we withdraw is frankly irrelevant.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I must admit I was pretty shocked to see someone wearing a blue rosette when the UKIP party leader. I was totally opposed to that way of doing it, put it that way. You're only talking about, at the end of the day, it was only about 10 to 15 people at the most. And to be honest, none of this should happen without local agreement. I think it was totally wrong to write to newspapers as the UKIP party leader to undermine your own candidates. I think that was very wrong. I pledged you that I would never do that. You know, I want to talk about the manifesto, sell the policies, and let's get a better vote. And that's what I would concentrate on.
In my first 5 minutes, I said and emphasised that my deal with Gerard was no secret deal.